to the LeRoy and Earl pre-show. I'm pre-LeRoy.
I'm pre-Earl.
And I'm pre-Tuna.
Here we are at 6:59. And, yeah. Cool Broncos hat on tonight.
Are we live on Strange Label?
We are live on YouTube, not Strange Label yet.
Oh, okay.
We're going to go live on Strange Label in 2 minutes. Because I like to at least wait till a minute after, just to, in case our clocks are off.
Right.
I'm going to make myself a Jack and Coke.
I'm going to make myself jacking off.
So, how's it going?
Gross.
Pretty good. Got a bit of a headache.
You want something?
No, I'm good. I think I can make it through. Just totally excited about things.
What's that?
Just totally excited about things.
It's an exciting time in the LeRoy and Earl show.
It is. We got some special news tonight. I'm not going to say, I'm not going to give it away.
I thought you were going to give it away.
I'm not going to give away what I'm going to give it away until we go live.
Did you really just measure a shot?
I do.
I always just freehand over pour it.
Yeah, that's why I do. Just a save on Jack. You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
It's good.
It's a weeknight.
It's going to give me the same effect. It just, if I just pour it, I'm going to waste it.
All right, so we are live on Strange Label.
Nope. That's just I started the DAW recording the show.
Oh, duh.
DAW.
Duh.
Digital Audio Workshop.
Workplace, workshop, workface, work center,
Work face?
work face. Yeah,
Let me see your work face.
Let me see your work
this is
face.
my work face. You're looking at it.
Okay, we're going to start the LeRoy and Earl show. See if I got all my ducks in a row here. I think I do. Here we go. That was interesting.
Ow.
Yeah.
Let's get a shift on.
It's Exodus, searching for euphoria. Searching through the mud to find the present.
That's tagging, man.
I'm just a traveller. Sometimes I see things need fixing. Do what I can.
Damn it.
What?
Wish I could start over.
Start over if you want.
Nah, screw it.
All right.
Guess what, shift heads? It's time for the LeRoy and Earl show.
I didn't street. Yes, sir. I didn't start drinking soon enough. This is the LeRoy and Earl show. I'm LeRoy.
I'm Earl.
I'm Tuna.
We are live on the Strange Label Podcast Network right now.
Okay, we're live.
A lot of times I think when you hear things pegging, it's not
No,
really.
it was pegging. Go look at the recording.
I see where it hit. It saves.
It was pegging on there. Look at your recording over on the right.
It saves it though. I'm
What?
saying it might have pegged, but I have a compressor and limiter on both those, so it ain't gonna be on there.
Well, I was pegging in my ears. Sound a lot of this shit, but
Yeah, it was too. I'm not saying it wasn't too loud, but
right. Yeah. Anyways, we gotta get some stuff out of the way here. T-shirts. I have a cheaper source, so if you were thinking about getting one but couldn't afford it, let me know because it's gonna be cheap. And I am buying shirts myself and taking them to the printer, so we're gonna save money there. So if there's a Pacific shirt that you want,
or an Atlantic.
send me a link to it on Amazon or something, or just order it and have it sent to my house. Next order of business, tonight I decided we are giving away an LED projector for free, and that is going to be for the next caller within the 15 minutes. Now, if somebody doesn't call before we get our real caller, then we'll take it the next week.
Well, our real caller is going to be on Skype, so people can call
Okay.
at any time.
First caller.
330-474-9833. First caller to the LeRoy and Earl show gets
LED projector.
Now,
Let me tell you about this.
Are you paying for the shipping?
Yeah, I'll pay for the shipping. LED projector. It's you can hook it up by AV, VGA, USB, SD card. It's got a headphone jack, so you can plug into your speakers, and it'll project to about the size, maybe like, I don't know, like 15 by 15 feet, something like that. Yeah, courtesy of LeRoy and Earl show.
LeRoy and Earl giving away an LED projector. And just a quick update, the Face of Dave Devil's Toe Challenge, tripping over my dick already, raised $68.50, which has already been sent to Dave, and he's already paid a medical bill with it. Actually,
Nice.
Dave, you do whatever you want with it, buddy. Take the old lady out to
That's
dinner.
for you, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I need to pay you for my portion of it. Sorry about that.
That's all right. I figured you guys would just do a lump transfer back to the PayPal account
Yeah.
as a friend.
Yeah, just keep,
Figure it out.
just, it's probably already in there.
Yeah, I know it's not.
Just keep checking for it.
We have a guest on tonight's show. She is probably going to Skype us at 7:15. It's Nisla Love, Love Coach. And I tried to look into what she's all about. She's got a lot of stuff on her website. I'm not really sure what she's all about, so I'm going to let her tell us,
All right.
assuming she calls.
Tonight's show is brought to you by Discount Wheelies. That's discountwheelies.com for all your pit bike, ATV, motorsports needs. We ship nationally, and we have the best deals. Also brought to you by Ohio Essentials. Just go on there and look and see what it is. If it's your gig, it's your gig. If not, shut the hell up.
OhioEssentials.com.
Yes? It's a friend I'm plugging for.
Wow.
Been
Nice.
plugging for a while.
Plug it away. Plug it away. So, Dildano, you probably don't remember this, but on last week's show, I said that he donated, the
20,
his
20,
20 bucks, and I said that I made a comment that he maybe was just trying to keep up with Dr. Brown, and that he didn't actually pledge.
You re-sparked that fire? Well, I don't get it. Why does it matter if you didn't pledge?
It doesn't. I was really only just making conversation.
Right.
I wasn't really trying to stir anything. But I got a text from him the next day, and I've got to read it. And I told him I would. I told him I would make it right. So I'm going to say right now that Dildano did not do that to just try and keep up with the Face of Dave. He did it out of the kindness of his heart to donate to a fellow shift head in need. And I was just talking out my ass. So, yeah. And here's what he said. Here's the text I woke up to Thursday morning. Hey, asshole. How come just because I forgot about the pledge for Face of Dave, I donate my raffle money to him to help a fellow shift head? Now, all of a sudden, I only did it to one-up Dr. Brown? I could give a fuck less about what he does. I am actually a nice guy, not the fuck you make me out to be, but I can be.
Oh.
And he actually said duck. I am actually a nice guy, not the duck you make me out to be. And I assume he meant fuck. So, but maybe he did
Well,
mean
you
duck.
need to stop assuming things about him.
Maybe he did
Maybe
mean,
that's the problem. Maybe he said duck and not fuck.
maybe. That's true. Maybe he's, got
Well,
some kind of duck thing
Dildano,
on.
I second that. He was being an asshole when he said that. And he apologized.
Yes, I was definitely being an
So
asshole.
we should get to the LeRoy and Earl show.
Trying to reignite an old war between shift heads, which we resolved in a truce a long time ago.
So yeah, I was, so Dildano, I apologize. Please crawl out of my ass. And, yeah. Yeah. So got that out of the way. 330-474-9833. You can call us first caller tonight. Gets a LED projector sent to you for free.
Yep, LED
Free.
projector, ladies and gentlemen.
Doesn't matter who it is.
Could be anybody in the whole wide world.
That's right. Yep. Tuna, how the
Yes,
hell's
sir.
it going?
Oh, it's great. I was just looking up some of Nisla Love's blog post.
Oh, thank you. You know what? I can't even begin to tell how much better you make this show.
Like this much
No,
better.
no, I can't. It's immeasurable. It is, and you were sorry, I almost used the word reticent again. You were leery about doing it. I could tell when we first brought it up. You weren't quite sure you wanted to do it. And then the first couple shows, were a little rough.
Yeah.
But
It's getting easier.
it's fun, right?
I think it's helping me outside of the show too, because
That's
I've
the
gone
exact
into
opposite for Earl and I.
right. I've gone into meetings at work, and I'm always asked questions on the spot, and I just feel like I don't get as anxious now
Yeah.
because I'm used to talking a little bit more.
The pressure's on.
It is.
Shut up.
It's something weird about podcasting. Even when you know there's not that many people listening, if you know one person's listening, you feel.
Well, and then
I
they
do
might not
now.
be listening right now, but potentially 100 people could listen to this episode a year from now.
Right, and unfortunately, we don't have any real way to track it. But
Right? We used to on Podbean,
that's-
right?
yeah, but that
Probably
costs
about-
$15 a month now.
Oh, sheesh.
I know. It used to be $10 a month. Now it's 15. So, anyway, Tuna, you've made the show way better. I appreciate your efforts. And what's that noise?
What
He's
noise?
eating candy.
You are listening to the LeRoy and Earl Show. I am LeRoy. I've been performing audio blackface since 2015, and no one cares. I'm trying to be racist, and I'm trying to get attention for doing something that in this day and age should be considered very racist, right?
Yeah.
And nobody cares.
Nope.
Nope, nobody cares.
No one even wants a free LED projector.
I know, I can't believe it. I know, you know what's going to happen is like everybody that listens to the show on the download will be like, damn it.
Fuck! Well, like I said, next week.
Yeah.
Get your ass calling in if no one
Nobody-
gets it this week.
Nobody calls in tonight and you hear this show on the download, you better call in next week.
I'll probably, once this goes, maybe I'll do something else. I don't know. To get rid of all the shit I don't want anymore.
That's a great idea. Great idea. So, she's supposed to Skype us at 7:15. So, if we don't hear from her by like 7:20, we'll just go on with the show. I noticed a shift. Oh, there's a phone call. You just gave away the.
Welcome to the LeRoy and Earl Show. Who do we have?
Hi, I was calling to get the projector.
You can't have the projector, Tuna. You're right next to it. It doesn't count for you.
I heard the echo. It's like
I didn't even
weird.
notice.
I didn't either. I saw her facing the wall. I'm like,
I
what's she
wasn't what
doing?
you were
That
doing
was
there.
excellent. Yeah. I'm like, why is she facing the wall? God, we're so dumb. I'm dumb.
standing
She's
right next to
facing
her.
the wall.
I was wondering what she's doing.
I
like-
even had to pull my headphones
know,
off
I couldn't
too.
see the-
It's like,
I couldn't
They
see the
haven't
phone on
said
there. I'll be anxious to watch that on the video. Anyway, what was I getting ready to say? I was getting ready to say something before. Oh, I've noticed a shift, if you will, in the mentality of this show. It wasn't, but maybe a few months ago, that you were like, basically you didn't want to do the show if we didn't have a guest. Like, so
now
I
we
would,
don't want to do the show if we have a guest.
right now we seem like and it's because of her, both mainly. We have so much material now. It's like, we gotta have a guest tonight. I probably overbooked us. I probably shouldn't have booked us so
We
tight.
spread them out a little bit.
Yeah, I booked 8 people between now and the end of the year.
Yeah, thanks for that.
But I'm almost guaranteed that at least one will flake out, like tonight.
Well,
she's got 2 minutes.
if she does flake out, then we have plenty of material, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think there will be a certain percentage of people who don't listen to this show, and then book it, and then listen to the show, and be like, "No, I'm not going on that."
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I don't blame them.
it is the Adult Cartoon of Podcasts. I am LeRoy. I'm a very large, well-endowed black man. Earl imitates my skinny white redneck friend, and Tuna is his Earl friend, if you know what I mean. His Earl friend. So I talked to Saul Gorman. He's back from Vegas. He only was out there for a week, Apparently, when you go 5 and 9, and then 9 and 6, which is terrible, but he got a little ahead of himself with the 11 and 4.
Huh.
4 weeks ago.
That was a strong start.
It was,
Hard
yes.
to keep up with.
Yeah, so apparently he now has a mortgage he has to pay on a house in Vegas, but he's not going to live in it, so. Yeah, it'll be tough. This is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I'm very aware of breasts. So I'd throw that out there.
Breasts are cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cancer sucks, regardless of whether it's your breasts or your dick. Doesn't matter. Cancer sucks.
The NFL used to do a Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October, and they changed it now to the crucial catch, encompassing all cancer, not just
That
titty
makes
cancer.
sense.
Not just,
Now, like for women, you can do a self-exam. They recommend you do that regularly.
right.
Should we demonstrate like an
sense.
exam?
Go for it. Now, you go ahead. For
No.
women, you can do a self-exam.
Why
They
did you
recommend
do
you
that?
do that regularly.
Sorry.
Is
That was me. That was me. I'm sorry.
Now, you go ahead.
No, that's me.
Women, you can.
That's me.
Is it you?
It was me, yeah.
Well, I did it too. I'm over here
What are
on.
the odds of that?
That is
What are the odds
odd.
of that? I was trying to pull up a video to play later. I thought I would get it ready, and I didn't realize that when I went to YouTube, it's gonna automatically.
I literally have this up. I was just checking to see if there's a way to. And I was looking at it too. I was like, it says to watching now. I'm like, I wonder who. It's us.
Yeah.
If anything, tonight we've proven how friggin' dumb we are.
It's. I can't even begin to. Why do we do this? We're no good at it. Yeah. It's-
Glutton for punishment.
right.
I
trying
love
to
the
bring-
background though. The background is sweet.
Okay, so the whole self-exam for women, they encourage you to do your own breast self-exams. Do guys do anything like that? For,
Yeah, we
like,
self-examine our
Oh,
wieners
yeah,
every day.
you start that when you're about 10.
no, but like for your prostate, are you digging up around
No,
there? And
no.
Your beehole?
yeah,
You got to really get at it to do that. I don't even think you can
Yeah,
do that.
what's a prostate?
it's up inside your butt.
It's way up in there.
What do we
Yes.
start examining every
And it-
organ
and-
inside now?
And I don't think prostate cancer has like lumps like a breast does. I don't even know that you would be able to feel it. Would you?
I think it gets enlarged, and you.
How would you know anyways?
Right,
I don't know what
yeah.
a normal prostate
Yeah,
feels like.
you'd have to have a good idea what your prostate feels like normally.
I
No.
think maybe it starts causing urinary problems because it puts pressure on that area.
This
Yeah,
could,
but that could be in a large prostate. It don't mean you have cancer.
Well, true.
this could be why gay guys don't get prostate cancer that much. Because their mate's always checking out their prostate, you know what I mean? I know it's
Oh.
gross. It's crude, but I think it's true.
But you know what? I mean, if that's what we got to do to survive as a species, you know,
I
It's
heard
kind of oxymoronic then, isn't it? Because you wouldn't survive as a species.
definitely moronic.
having a regular orgasm for men helps to prevent prostate cancer and enlarged prostate.
As opposed to an irregular orgasm.
No, regular as in frequent.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, I mean, there's nothing else going on. This person hasn't called in yet.
And I emailed her a little bit ago. I'm trying to check out, see what she emailed us back. She didn't.
Well, let's. You got some stuff for the shizzy, or are you still looking at wieners on a
I'm
computer?
too busy looking at wieners. Seriously. I'm trying to find your prostate, man.
Well, here, you're looking in the wrong place.
Here, look. See?
Should I leave for a little bit?
No,
you're
you
good.
can stay.
See,
I'll
you
check
need to
one
know
out,
how to
too.
do this.
You wanted to give her an breast exam. Now you want her to check out your prostate.
Here,
Whatever.
see? You just stick your finger right up in there and you palpate around.
Yeah, but what's it
Toward
supposed to
the
feel
front.
like?
I don't know.
That's the thing.
That guy's well hung compared to me.
See,
No.
most guys are pretty familiar with their ladies' breasts. So if something's out of the ordinary, they usually
Right.
will find it. Guys, our prostate's way up there, way up in the poop chute. You know what I mean? Right. What are you giving me that look for? You brought this up.
Like you're like stick your finger up in there. How do you know? Like, oh, that's an enlarged prostate. Oh no, that's a turd.
Pull it out and get back to work. All right, so 7:19. She did not email back yet.
Okay, let's do the sushi.
Okay.
Okay, so you're prepared to like just stop if she calls?
Yeah,
is that
sure.
good?
No,
Okay.
no way. Can't stop in the middle of the sushi.
And now, here's the sushi with tuna.
I love sushi, yes I do. Just wanna get fish faced with you.
All right.
That
good going.
that intro is never gonna get old.
I hope not.
I don't even know how to follow it.
Took me almost a half hour to do it.
First of all,
Paid
have
off.
you guys bought your lottery tickets?
Ah, shit. We
don't-
bought the one, but then we
I
apparently
don't buy
didn't win.
lottery tickets.
Yeah, but it's
Well-
almost up to $1 billion.
Right, which is even less chance you win it.
That's all right. I'm still gonna chance it because Mega Millions right now is next drawing is Friday, and as of right now, it's at $900 million. So it's gonna probably be over $1 billion by Friday.
Has it ever gone over $1 billion?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
This is definitely one of the highest. And Powerball drawing is tonight, and it's at $345 million.
So we got to buy tickets on the way home.
Yeah. So
I'm not a big lottery guy, too, but when it gets big, I think, what the hell?
The
that's
thing is,
what I
I
think
mean,
too.
realistically, the bigger it gets, the more people are going to play. Lessens your
Yeah.
chance. You should play it when it's less. Right?
Probably.
But it's just an astronomical thing, you know what I mean? No matter what, so just play it. Just whatever makes you feel good, because that's the most important. Choose Love Solutions.
That's her. Answer it.
Oh, why is it
Is it
ringing
Skype?
twice? Hello,
Hey, hi, this is Nisla.
Nisla. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, and you?
This is Earl. I think I'm pretty good. Were we expecting you on Skype?
Yes, and I've been trying to log in with the information you gave me, and it's not showing anything. It says no results found.
No results found. Well, that would be our producer Leroy that effed that up.
Ricky did that.
Ricky,
I'm
sorry, it's
I
my
did
bad.
it like so many times, and it's like, okay, so I'm gonna read it over. It says LEROY dot LEROI.
Well, that's it. I'm not
I
sure
mean,
why it
this
was
is
coming.
fine. She
Yeah,
sounds
we're-
good on it.
We're good. Can you hear us okay?
That's the big thing. That's why we
Press
normally.
it. Yeah. Is it any feedback? Are you getting any feedback from the call, or no?
No, it's just normally the person on the cell phone can't hear us because of the obvious, time shift thing continuum. But if you could hear us, if you can hear us fine, then we're good, and we'll go ahead with this. And we'd love to hear about what you do.
Okay. What I can hear you, but sometimes it's like in and out. But I
Okay.
just want to make sure. Now, it did come out with an individual named LeRoy, and it's a black guy.
That's me.
That's him.
That's me.
That's you?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So you know what's so crazy? It came up, but it didn't come up. So when I first did it earlier, it showed, but then
Sounds
when I tried to
impossible.
log on, it did not. All right. So let's see. I could do Skype.
All right.
Do you want to do audio, or do you want to do? Let's see.
It's up to you. You can do video if you want.
Yeah,
Whatever
it's
you
totally
want.
up to you.
Okay, I can hear you better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to hang up the phone.
Oh,
You hang
oh,
up the
I didn't know
phone.
you were already on Skype.
Yeah, you hang up the phone. Do you hang
Hung
up?
up.
Okay.
She's already on Skype?
You there?
I'm on Skype. Yes,
Oh.
I'm here.
Yes, that sounds, the audio quality is way better there.
Yes.
Oh, look at you guys.
I'm
Hey.
Leroy.
I'm Earl. This is Tuna.
Hi.
And
Hey.
that's Leroy over there, and then right next to him's Ricky.
Hey, how you doing, you guys?
Dude,
What-
super frastic.
Shut up.
Hey, can you tell us who you are, or tell our fans who you are and what you do?
My name is Nisla Love. I am a relationship specialist coach. I help individuals and business create a quality of life by building better relationships through effective communication.
Now, you said in business, so this is strictly
Yeah,
business?
business. So when I say business, so I go in corporate settings and help them with personal development, relationship training, in reference to that, customer service training, leadership training. So that's when I say business also, but
So,
also help with individuals also.
so do you deal with workplace love relationships? I'm a little confused.
Work. Well, this tends to be work relationship, but yes, you believe anything that deals with conflict.
Yeah,
If you think
whatever
about
makes the
anybody
sale
has
go through, right?
conflict or just building relationship, um, helping individuals communicating inside and outside the workplace because you want to have a healthy culture in the workplace.
Well, Nisla, of we're not really a business, but this podcast is run a little bit like a business. We're not incorporated or anything, so we're kind of like a business, but we have absolutely no communication skills whatsoever, and I just want you to know right away. Do you consider yourself a counselor? Do you have degrees in counseling? Is that part of it, or is that a different thing?
That is a different thing. I am a coach, so I'm a certified coach. In reference to that, when you're talking about counseling, you're talking more about dealing with past issues and to reflect that, going inside to healing, versus with a coach, you're saying, okay, I have this problem. Let's go ahead and fix it and challenge it, and let's move on. So it's a little bit different. They
So,
work hand in hand together.
so can you give us an example of, you can just make up an example of a problem that you would be brought in to solve
For individuals or for business?
in
You
the
want to do
in the
individuals?
business world.
Oh, in the business world. Okay. Oh, perfect thing. So everybody, when in a office setting, emails.
Yep.
One of the things is about when you do with emails, people say lack of communication, where you might have a manager will just blast the email and say, you need to do this, 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 and it has to be done by a certain time. And then you have people saying, I still don't understand what needs to be done. And then, then you have that leadership where it says, I made it plain. It needs to be done this way, a certain way. But then you have to understand people communicate differently versus when you write something, it could be interpreted so many ways versus where you verbally say it. So I go in, teach people how to communicate effectively so that way there's no conflict, there's no animosity, there's no confusion. So that
So if
way
anybody
everybody's
gets
on the
mad, they don't get
same sheet.
so they don't get mad at the manager. They get mad at you if things are messed up.
No.
Well, hopefully, no, that shouldn't happen. But I try to. So think of me as the peacemaker.
Okay.
I go in and I keep peace, and
Now,
I'm able to see it from different perspectives.
now, Nisla, the reason why I asked you about the counseling thing is I wanted to forewarn you that Earl has seen 5 different counselors in his life, and every one of them have quit their profession.
Oh.
So I just want you to know Earl is he's actually being studied right now by the Smithsonian Institute. They hook up to his brain once a month. He goes in there and they track his brain waves because it's so messed up. They don't know how he even functions. So,
But you'll definitely get your chance to show your expertise tonight, I'm sure, because I'll probably start fighting with LeRoy over here pretty soon.
No fighting, no fighting.
so how long have you been doing this?
Oh gosh, I've been doing it for the last 5 years, but I actually stepped out and did it for business wise 4 years. And so this year, I should say this year. Well, this year and this month is my 4th-year anniversary, so I'm excited about that.
Now, do you work for yourself? Or
Yeah, I work for
Nice.
myself. How cool is that, right?
That is awesome. You make a living doing it?
Yeah, got to make a living to do it.
Right.
When you work for yourself, yeah, definitely.
Are you able to put a picture up on the screen
Yeah, I can
for
work on
the
that. I can work on that.
viewers? We're just gonna if it's okay, we're gonna put your picture up there
I'll
and
just go to our website.
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah, your website probably.
Now, Nisla, what inspired you? Was it your professional experience that inspired you to get into this coaching role?
Yes. So this is the difference with, even though I'm helping with relationship, my background is in accounting and finance. And so prior to me being a relationship coach, I was actually a financial coach. And I found more people, when I'm helping them with their finances, it was always connecting with relationship. And so that was just something that I said, okay, I love to help people when it comes to relationship, because if anybody knows dealing with money, it's not so much you don't have it. It's not so much that, it's too little, but it's always a relationship is the core of it. And so that's how I was able to help when it came to building relationships. And I actually started from financial coaching, and then I went to marriages, and now I stretched it out, and now it's broader to not only individuals and families, but business and corporate settings.
That's it seems like you're somebody that everyone needs.
Right.
I hope.
I'm going to keep your information, because when you were talking about styles of communication, I'm dealing with that exact issue at work with some of my employees. We have two people that in emails, it's a battle every single time they have to communicate, and it shouldn't be. It's something so simple, but because of their styles of communication are so different that it always there's some animosity that comes of it. But if they were to pick up the phone and call each other about it and could verbally explain it, it's no problem. It's just when email gets involved that they both have issues communicating. So, yeah, I might need to call you outside of this.
Yeah. I mean, it's just amazing how, we have moved away from talking on the phone. Then we do meet, we do text, but it's nothing more than talking or being physically in front of someone where you can actually see or feel what they're talking or expressing. Because like you said, you could write an email and you could say, meet me at the corner of Macy's. And then they'd be like, okay, what time? What I need to wear?
What corner?
Who's going to be there? Is it cold? So you have all this stuff, all these additional questions. And one individual said, I made it plain. Meet me at Macy's at the corner. Versus somebody's like, okay, so do I need to wear this? Do I need to bring this? Should somebody else come with me? So, yeah.
My favorite thing is when I send somebody an email or a text and I ask 2 questions and they reply with an answer to 1.
Don't you love it?
Yeah.
But you know what they're doing, right?
I would guess that they are not reading it fully. They didn't see the second question, right?
They didn't see the question. They answer which one was more important.
Oh. So they prioritize it in their head.
Yes. And then, or it could be the other way. Oh, it's already implied that you already know the answer.
Well, what about, like, we're having an issue in the studio here where we've been communicating to LeRoy for probably a month now that it's 1,000 degrees down here. And I'm over here sweating. Is there anything we could do? Like, how much is it going to cost for us to get you to get him to get a fan?
We can't have a fan. It's going to cost noise.
Oh, man,
it's going to cost noise. I bet you if you take off your shoes, he'll get the idea.
If I take off my pants, he's about to get the idea.
Actually, that wouldn't work because I have anosmia.
He can't smell anything.
He can't smell.
Hey, you saying I got stinky feet?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a great idea, though, so this is already working, ladies and gentlemen. I am taking my shoes off now. I feel cooler.
Oh, boy.
We should have apologized for him in advance.
I kind of did when I said those 5 counselors quit their jobs.
Oh, that's true.
So,
that's true.
Now, another big question we always ask our guests, Nisla, is, did you listen to this show before you came on it?
I actually listened to the episode prior to last week. I listened to last week. And I was just like, wow, okay.
It was a little painful last week. We were having some technical
All I heard was that the other individual, she's like, oh, you might not, he's like, he was saying something to the effect that you sound like the devil. And I was just okay, but what's going on? What kind of show is this?
And I thought that was kind of racist, calling me the devil.
Yeah, I was just like, what?
It's just a comedy show. It's just a gimmick, and it's just something.
Yeah.
A lot of people, A lot of people don't like it because the way we sound. They don't like my high voice, but a lot of people love it.
Yeah, it's just our shtick. We've stuck with it for like 3 years now. So
There's nothing wrong with it. It's just being different, you know. And and that's one of the things I learned about being in business or just an individual. You can't please everyone. There's no way. And you know, you just got to be real to yourself, and then people will attract to you because you are real.
well, how long does that take?
We're still waiting.
Instantly.
Well, we're doing something wrong then.
Yeah.
No, we're doing all right.
We gotta pay the money first.
We got a pretty loyal following of shift heads.
What's do you have a website or how does that work?
I have say again?
Do you have a website? And if so, what is it?
Yeah, isn't it? It's the same website that's up right there on the screen.
NislaLove.com.
Really
You need glasses.
Well, we got a lot of people that don't watch this show. They
That's
listen,
true. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I apologize.
Yeah.
Yes,
And we have a lot of listeners that need help. So.
See, there, we got you there. That was the whole communication thing.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes. You're right. So my website is Nisla Love, my name, first, last name, last name. So it's NISLALOVE.com.
Is your real last name Love? Or is that
Yes. No,
really?
it is.
Now,
It is.
Awesome.
That is my real last name.
we have another life coach scheduled to come on the show next month whose last name is Love as well. I thought that was
I'm sure it's not just her again.
No. Well, we'll
You
find
never
out.
know. Please continue.
We'll find out. So, are you doing a lot of podcasts?
I just started back doing it last year I was doing a lot, but this year I kind of took like a little break, had to deal with family. We had a lot of stuff going on. We moved and husband transition careers, so I'm back in, getting out there. Look, you like, what?
You got me excited when you said your husband transitioned. I'm like, ooh, let's talk about that.
Not
I
like
don't think
that.
that's what she meant. Where are you based out of?
We are based out of North Carolina.
Oh, that sounds so beautiful right
Tar
now.
Heels. Oh yeah, but it ain't.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a couple weeks ago when we had the hurricane and the storm. Yeah.
How'd you guys come out of that? Okay.
Yes, we did. We had a lot of wind damage and little minor water damage, but nothing extreme to other neighbors on the coast.
So this is exactly what I'm talking about. We've been telling him we're hot for a month, and he's over here with a bucket of ice. No bucket of ice for us, but he's got his
There's
own
some water
ice
behind you.
and some...
There's some water behind you.
So okay, so what is? So let me see. It's hot, but you're not hot. Is that correct?
I'm not really that hot right now. Obviously this summer was really hot, and it gets hot down here. The problem is we have 6 computers, we have stage lights, we have overhead lights. I mean, there's just so much stuff generating heat down here, but we can't.
You
really,
got menopause.
I'm having hot flashes. We can't really. If we put a fan down here, you're going to hear it. It's going to pick up on the microphones. We have enough technical issues as it is. I had a little fan going under the desk, but Earl decided that the table wasn't good enough for him. He had to have this giant black cover over it, which now blocks any air that would go under there. So.
Come on, Earl.
He's just high maintenance.
What about the fans right above your head?
It doesn't do anything. It has to be blowing right on you. It's a quiet fan.
Give it
but
to
you
me.
still would need to have a fan because you have so many technology in the computers in there. You don't want to be overheating.
Well, they can take care of themselves.
No, you cannot argue with
Really?
her. She's a professional.
During the break, I'm going to get that fan down and set it up so it's blowing on you, right on your microphone. So,
Sweet.
yeah.
So whatever happened to the tall mount towers of the air condition? Would that work? If you had, instead of like the fan that actually makes noise, you just have the towers. Would that work?
Oh, you mean like the kind that move? Like an air freshener? Or like a...
Yeah, like well, I guess if you want to call it like an air freshener, but it's just a tower. And it blows cool air.
Well, he could
and it doesn't make noise.
See,
Really?
look at she's
I'm
solving
not
all
sure
our
what,
problems.
Not sure what that is, but
Dyson makes one that does.
is it a
Dyson,
fan
you
or
go
is
to-
it an air conditioner?
You could go to Lowe's and you could go to Home Depot. I don't know if they have it now because we're in fall
If you
now.
could get
but
one
yeah.
of those for us by next week,
You're
LeRoy,
welcome to bring one over.
Man, I'm
So
the one to put
different.
off the green screen and stuff. You got to do something once in a while.
I
Can
told you
we
during
s-
the break, I'll put that fan on you.
Can we schedule a couples counseling session for them?
Sure. Why not?
We don't want her to quit.
You will. Oh boy.
All right.
I was scrolling through your blog entries, and
Mm-hmm.
I think I've already found several that, at work sometimes we just send out inspirational things or, just little quick reads. And
Mhm.
I've already found several that I'm going to share with our team because these are really valuable pieces of writing.
You're speechless. You
Yeah,
don't even know
I
what to
just-
say.
Aw.
She
Cool.
already,
was trying to
already
get a-
having trouble communicating.
I was trying to think of how to describe them while I was scrolling through them.
Yeah,
But
you need help.
Well, that's good. That's good. That's good. I mean, that's what it's there for. That's one of the things people tend to not to focus on. We got away from relationship. And then, you hear about it now. Everything is relationship, relationship, relationship. If you want to, especially in business, like if you want to create a sales relationship, relationship. But people want that tangible, like they matter. Who doesn't want to be number one?
I'd settle
You know,
for top 10.
Top 10?
Top 10 would be great. Yeah.
I mean, but even if you settle for top 10, you're still within, are you the top 10 out of 100, top 10 out of 1,000? You're still going to be like number one.
Right.
Yeah, everybody want, and once you have, they wants to, each individual wants to be considered important, and they want to matter when it comes down to it.
That's so
That's,
true.
I mean, that's the
Yeah.
bottom line right there.
That is so
Now,
true. That's
Yeah,
so true.
and if you don't show that, then that's when you're going to have the animosity, you're going to have the conflict, the
That's why
backbiting, the eye rolling.
that's why I'm so mad at Twitter.
You're mad at Twitter?
I'm
Why
mad
you
at Twitter. Yeah, I bust my butt on Twitter and nobody cares. Nobody cares. Face of Dave, that's it.
With Twitter, it's every social media has like a what you call it algorithm.
Right.
And with Twitter, I'm gonna give you a little secret about Twitter if you didn't know this. So you tweet, say like you tweet like, oh, today is a great day, and you're promoting your show. You have to do that about like 10 to 12 times a day.
The same thing over and over, or just
The
different ones?
same thing over and over and over because it only stays valid for a couple seconds.
Oh.
did
Yeah.
not know that.
So if somebody is constantly liking and retweeting a tweet, that means they must be on there all the time, right? They're at the ready.
It could be,
Face
or
of Dave.
or they at that peak time because each social media has a peak time. So if you're on the peak time, then yeah.
So I'm confused. What makes it stay longer just by doing it like 10 times? I mean, does one finally get through, or is that what you're saying?
So just think about it. I forgot how many so it's over 1 million users, and so you put your tweet and it gets pushed down to the bottom or whatever the case should be. So the more you tweet that, it'll populate to the top. Basically, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
And obviously, the more retweets you get, the more people are going to see it.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then also too, I don't know if you noticed, but like if you have a Facebook page and you post something on there, you can set it up where it'll tweet already. It'll go on your Twitter feed, and that's also for LinkedIn also.
All right. Well, I'm still going to quit. I appreciate you.
I'm giving you some feedback here so to help
I'm
you
done.
out.
I hate Twitter. It's just ruining my
We'd
life.
rather just pay somebody to do it.
Well, you can, yeah, but I'm not going to do that.
Or you could do automated. You just have it just automated for you.
I've heard about that, but you still got to write the tweet, right?
Robots are expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do have to write it.
So, anyway, you guys got anything else?
No, is there anything else you want to add? Anything else you do? Any hobbies or anything like that?
My hobbies. Oh wow. Let me see. I love going on the beach. That's what I love to do. I love going to the beach, exploring new beaches each year. So
Do you live
I love
close?
to do.
You live close to the beach there in North Carolina?
No, I don't actually live close to the beach, but I will tell you that. So I have a military background, and so we got to travel a lot. We actually lived in Alaska, which is beautiful. That's something I would recommend anyone going to, to visit or even live. Once you get over the cold weather.
Once the hypothermia goes away.
Yeah.
Right.
But I will say this, that when you first get there, it's like a culture shock, and your whole body like kind of freaks out. But then after a while, you climatize and you get used to it.
I'm gonna pass on that.
Yeah.
Climatizing.
Aw,
I mean, it is hot in here, but
It was 50 degrees today, and I felt like I was gonna die.
everybody says that about Alaska, though. Like, it does not sound appealing at all unless you're going hunting or a trucker who likes dangerous stuff. It doesn't sound appealing. But
Okay, well, the nice time to visit is the summertime, because the temperature's not cold. It's like tropical weather. It's very beautiful. You get to see, the sun, have the experience of seeing, 24 hour of light.
that's what
And
I was
then
gonna
if
ask. Does it stay like dark for months?
It depends on what part of Alaska you have. The part we were in Fairbanks, where the sun would come up at 11 o'clock and it was set at 3. It will go down at 3 o'clock.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
That's a lot like Ohio.
Right, yeah.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding. Seems like it.
But yeah.
Seems like it.
But yes, I mean, traveling, and I love helping people build better relationships, and, making them create a quality of life. I love seeing people come in and, they say, this can't be done. But then once we go through our sessions, the work, through the work, they're able to see a different perspective. They're able to see their life change and impact other people also.
I would think larger companies would benefit from actually hiring someone like you as a full-time employee. I mean, especially a company that's got, hundreds and hundreds of employees where there's constant communication, constant problems. You would think
Right.
you would just be like, you'd have to wear a fireman's outfit.
But could she do that, though? Like, could anybody do that, put themselves in a full-time position? People who are just not getting it. You know what I mean?
Well, I guess
it's probably a little bit better if she goes from different.
Yeah, I guess the problem is once she works for the company, now she's not unbiased. Now she
Right.
becomes
And
biased.
and that's one of the things where I don't work for the company. I come in as a consultant, because it's always good to see a different perspective in anything. So that way you are able to not be biased but be neutral. So that way there is no, like, me having to feel like I feel obligated to say one thing, where I'm just going to be straight and honest and let them know this is what happened and this is how we could fix it and this is how we could get better as a whole. And that way everyone can see the end result. The bottom line is, if you don't have good communications in any relationship, business, home, or I'll even go as far as yourself, you're not going to be effective to no one or yourself.
I don't understand what I'm saying half the time.
The Smithsonian's trying to figure it out. What's going on up in that brain?
No, you seem like a very kind lady and very professional. So if anybody needs this kind of service, she sounds like she's the right one.
I think every person that listens to this show does need her.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately for Nisla, none of them can afford it. Sorry.
I always say, if you can have a smartphone and pay that monthly or yearly, you can afford to invest in yourself.
Yeah,
Smart. She's a genius.
we got to get going here, so I don't want to go off on a tangent. But I keep seeing these posts on Twitter about how the American dream is dead, and how people, I saw a post today basically was saying, back in the good old days, a man could work and a wife could stay at home, and he only had to work 40 hours, and he could retire at 60 with a pension, and life was great. Now everybody has to work, and I thought, whoever wrote this knows nothing about history. They know nothing about the fact that those people back then didn't have 3 cars and YouTube and Netflix And you know what I mean? They
Yeah.
sacrificed, and people can
Right.
do that now, but they don't get it. They think they got to have their cigarettes and their beer, and
Mm-hmm.
you know,
No, you're right. We have a lot of stuff. Back then, they didn't have a lot of stuff,
right?
and I think that's the reason why, quote unquote, everybody has to work, because they have so much stuff that they either have to keep up with the Joneses, or they just want too much. Think about all the storage units. We could go on a tangent with that.
Right.
Well, I just like to say, very well said, LeRoy, for a person sitting in front of 6 computers right now.
I didn't say I. Guess what? Guess what? My wife hasn't worked for 12 years, so
Awesome.
she's been a stay-at-home mom and a housewife and a trophy wife to our kids, and it's been excellent. And we've sacrificed a little bit, not much,
Yeah.
not much, but I mean, I'm proof that it can be done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I commend you. That's good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I
Well-
did that a couple times, so yeah. If you
Well,
could do it, do it.
yeah, I mean, it all depends on the personalities involved. You know, so
Yeah, I'm quitting my job tomorrow.
He said he's going to be a stay-at-home dad to our dog. That
Oh,
does
I'm
not
gonna
work.
do that right now.
That does
doesn't
not
count.
work.
doesn't count. I was a stay-at-home dad to a human for about 4 months, and it was done. That was it. So, all right, Nisla Love, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight. I appreciate you coming on, especially considering you listened to the show and still came on. So
Yeah, there was some miscommunication there, but
that's all right. That's all right. I'm glad we got it worked out. And as we tell all our guests, you're always welcome back. You have our Skype address. You can Skype us anytime you feel like butting in, or if you're listening to the show. We do the show live because it's more fun that way. So
Yeah.
you're always
I
welcome
had a
back.
great time. Thank you for
Great.
inviting me. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. So we'll talk to you later. Thanks again.
take care.
All right.
Nisla.
Y'all have a wonderful evening.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. You're
Good
welcome.
night. And we're going to take what do they call it? El Breco
I don't
Sure.
know.
in
Is that what they
Spanish.
call it?
I think in Spanish they call it an El Breco.
El Breco.
El Breco. And I'm going to play a song from a band called Massive Wagons. They're out of England, and this album is brand new. It's called Full Nelson, and I am loving it. I love every song on it, which is rare. It's a
Cool.
great album. So we'll be right back. I'll play it after this.
Whenever Carl and I find a generator, fuel, and have a spare laptop handy, the first thing we do is go to LeRoyandEarl.com and we download as many episodes as we can. We would donate money. We're kind of short on cash right now. If Carl and I can do it, you sure as hell can. LeRoyandEarl.com.
This is how I meant to do it. We'll be right back.
A hot afternoon, my garden I'm
Hello, this is Andrew WK, and you're listening to Strange Label. Time to party.
Oh, yeah. You're listening to the Leroy and Earl Show, and we're back. I'm Leroy.
I'm Earl.
I'm Tuna.
And she's Tuna, and I gotta do that.
Ladies and gentlemen, first caller wins, or I should say next caller wins.
Any caller.
Any caller wins an LED projector. Great for the kids.
You could
Great
set
for
it
movie
up
night.
outside to project movies on your garage door in the
Yes.
summer.
Mutinies?
What I did.
Movies.
Oh, I said mutinies.
Yes,
Is that-
project
Mutiny.
mutinies.
Is that when you're going to do a mutiny, but you don't have enough guys, so you project the guys
Sure.
behind you to make who you're mutinizing against?
Yeah.
Think you have more? Anyway, yes, 330-474-9833 gets you a free LED projector shipped to you free. I mean, what the hell? The phone should be ringing off the hook.
Call us, dummies.
Where's Michelle?
Michelle's not on the chat
She's
tonight.
not on the chat tonight. Well, you missed out this week.
Yeah.
Miss you, Michelle.
I guarantee you someone calls right away next week. I guarantee.
Oh, nope, that was last week. Sorry.
Yeah. This week we're giving away a bottle cap.
I broke this thing on the mic.
Yeah.
We could give that to them.
The mic.
Yep.
Oh, on the mic stand?
Yeah.
The holder, yeah, it's no big deal.
It's no big deal because it's mine.
That's not true.
Sorry.
That
That's
is
not
mine.
true. Well, she's your Earl friend, so she's breaking your stuff. So, do you want to what do you want to do? You want to go back into the sushi, or
I'm up for whatever.
you just want to do a little scat the rest of the show? We only, we've been going about till about 8:15, so it's 8 o'clock now.
I just have a few quick stories. If
Yeah,
you...
let's finish the
All right.
sushi and
Let's
we'll call it.
finish the sushi. I'm not going to play the intro again because
Ah.
I can.
No,
man.
it's a.
We don't want to get it wear it out too fast.
We are already fish faced. So. First story's a little depressing. I
Okay,
don't know if you guys.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we're just gonna.
Actually, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
We're just gonna rail right into this without you mentioning the GD fan that I set up for you.
Well, thank you.
Can you hear it?
It took us to get us. It took getting a specialist on here to make it happen. But thank you.
Thank you, Nisla.
Thank you,
So-
Nisla, for making this fan happen.
All right, let's be quiet and see if we can hear it. Nope, can't hear it at all. We're good.
Nope. Nothing.
All right, sorry. No more interruptions.
We'll see about that. The first story's a little depressing, and it
Yay.
yeah, yay. But I wanted to bring it up because I feel like the whole eye for an eye punishment really needs to happen. A grandma in Mississippi was arrested because she stabbed her 20-month-old granddaughter and then put her in the oven with the oven turned on. They're not sure.
Oh, you better be joking.
Right? They're not sure if the stabbing or the oven was what killed her. It doesn't matter. It was both of them were the grandma. But when I read stuff like that, I'm like, that's exactly what we need to do to that woman.
Yep. Except now they'll give her life, which is actually, 15 years.
Well, it depends how old she is. It could be a
But
month.
I'm just saying the life
She'll be in the cell.
sentence, which isn't a life sentence. They still give them the hope of a release.
Which is bullshit.
Mr. Earl, she's gonna be in the cell across from.
It's getting cold in here.
It's gonna be in the cell across from. I forgot his
Hey,
name.
shut the hell up,
What
Ricky.
are you trying to say, Ricky?
I'm trying to say that she'll be in a cell across from the Jello Pudding Pop guy. I can't remember his name.
Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby?
Bill Cosby.
Yeah,
Yep.
she'll be saying, "Oh, Jello Pudding Pop."
You think Bill Cosby will be sneaking in like roofing like other people do drugs?
He'd be,
Roofying himself in prison.
Roofing and other
if there's
inmates.
any female COs in there,
Well,
better watch out.
gay for the stay. That's how it goes.
Straight at the gate.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah, I'm with you too. Give me your phones. I'm with you too. I think that grandma should not get a chance. If there's no doubt, and that she's guilty, I think she should be murdered on the spot. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. So they set her bail at $500,000, which I don't think is enough. But based on the pictures,
nope, it's not actually $500,000. You only have to pay 10% of that. That's what I hate about society. If your bail's $500,000, it should be $500,000.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah.
You only
have to pay a
10%?
percentage of it.
Well, when do you pay the rest of it?
You don't.
If you run away, like say
yeah.
you skip out on bail, then you owe the full amount.
So if you got to say this lady $500,000, she only has to pay
$50,000.
$50,000.
Yeah, it's usually like 10%.
So if no matter what happens, she doesn't have to pay the rest. Obviously, she goes to jail. She's not going to pay it. But say she gets exonerated.
No, she doesn't have to.
So they never have to pay it. So it's really only 10%. So when they set bail at like $5 million, it's really only $500,000.
Yeah, it's a joke.
Right. But based on the pictures of her house, which looks like a shack, like a garden shed that they turned into a duplex, she couldn't put up $50,000.
Typically, I mean,
there's probably a bail bond.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say that you would never hear of a rich person doing something like that, but rich people have done stuff like that.
Right.
Although not that's
John Bonet Ramsey.
Could it get any worse than that? Is there anything
Stabbing
worse?
Why'd she put her in the oven?
Stabbing how old was the baby?
20 months.
20 months. Stabbing an infant who's completely helpless, defenseless, stabbing it and putting it in the oven. Turn the oven on?
Yes. The oven was on. She burned her. But they don't know yet. At least they haven't said.
She was trying to get rid of the evidence.
Obviously, that person has a serious mental issue, and at her age, she's probably got dementia, I'm guessing. That seems like a slam
She's only
dunk.
in her 40s. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you said grandma. I forgot this is 2018.
Yeah.
You forgot how old you were.
40s.
Yeah.
Holy shite.
So,
yeah. Somebody
maybe
should put her in the
onset.
oven, then stab her when she comes out.
There you go. Yeah.
Because we're not sure the order.
Now, is she Jewish? Maybe she was having a Holocaust flashback.
Well, man, it give us something better than that.
Well, no. Speaking of a Holocaust flashback,
I'm gonna go. Get me a drink.
A high school student baked cookies using the cremains, the cremated remains of one of their relatives, and brought them to school and fed them to their classmates. Oh my god!
That's just funny.
That's
awful.
I was just getting ready to say, that's not. You know, when you lead with the baby stabbing oven thing, nothing seems like a big deal.
The baby stabbing is way worse.
Yeah, I mean,
my third story is good news. But yeah, these two girls, they made sugar cookies with one of the cremated remains of their grandfather.
Yeah, I was going to say, how were the cookies?
I have no idea. But yeah, so they're in big trouble. In good news, though, and I was saving this for last, I'm moving to Canada because they just they just legalized recreational marijuana.
It's legal in Ohio.
Isn't it?
No, recreational marijuana.
All of Canada.
Yes.
USA's soon to follow. I guarantee it. It won't be long. Trump's just waiting for a second term.
It says that adults of at least 18 years old will be allowed to carry and share up to 30 grams of legal marijuana in public.
Well, Akron, Ohio is making, it's on the ballot to, not Akron, Ohio in general. It's on the ballot to make all the felony drugs misdemeanors.
Issue 1.
Issue 1.
That's crazy.
It is pretty crazy.
It's cray-cray. Cray-crady. So let's hear the happy story, please.
That was the happy story.
Oh, sorry.
Recreational pot.
For
legal.
Canada.
Mm-hmm.
For Canada. That's not really happy for us.
Well, no, I said we're moving.
We're moving.
Oh, moving the show to Canada. We did move to Cuba once.
Can we just say we're doing a show in Canada and smoke weed?
So that was the best news I could come up with.
You know what sucks is that weed was illegal my whole life, and I don't even know that I would like it. Like, I did it when I was younger, when I was a kid. Like, I was 14 or 15, and I laughed my ass off. But, you know, your chemistry changes. And now I'm like, everybody knows I support it just because I think it's silly, you know, to be illegal. But they might legalize it, and I go use it, and it's just not the same. I missed the boat. You know what I mean? I might not even like it.
Right. Well, actually, I heard that marijuana today is like 10 times stronger than it was in the 60s.
So I need to get 60s marijuana.
So, no, it's stronger now.
Oh, you want strong? Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I just want to laugh. I remember laughing.
Yeah.
And that was fun.
Can you imagine doing this show high?
It would not. It would be harder to do.
Would it?
I mean, at least through the laughing, I would be laughing a lot. That'd be finally somebody be laughing about this show.
I wondered about, I was wondering during the break, sorry, I wondered during the break if having these serious guests on is going the direction, because I'm picturing our shift heads wanting us to make fun of the guest.
Right.
Right? And I don't want to do that.
We had a lot of comedic stuff, but it's still... that was really professional. She's a professional.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%. I don't know why she came
Obviously
on the show.
a great woman. I could tell right away she's not, putting babies in ovens or anything like that.
At least she doesn't stab them first.
But I think if we can get more, what's the word I'm looking for? Twisting, animosity,
Stir the pot?
Stir the pot kind of guests, like the Black Panther lady, which, don't get me wrong, we never made fun of her. We didn't do anything.
Right. Well, I thought last week when Pat DeBerry was on, because he led with some insults that were true, but still, I thought we should rip him a little, but then we just didn't. It just didn't feel right.
I wanted to. I held off, but I was told beforehand not to do it.
Not by me? Oh.
Oh, come on. Do not blame me.
I'm blaming you. We had this discussion on the way here. I said I really want to make fun of the guests, but and you're saying it's not right to insult people. It's not insulting. It's a show. It's a comedy show. You expect to get jabs at you.
Well, I think
let me clarify. We had.
We need you back on here, Nisla.
The discussion was not how he said. We were in complete agreement that you can poke fun while not being mean-spirited and still, have an entertaining show.
Well, like we did with the...
You're such a liar.
Like we did with the psychics. We weren't, degrading them or saying mean stuff.
Even though they accused us of degrading them.
Right. But I mean, we were obviously making fun of what they're doing. But see, like this lady tonight, how do you make fun of what she does?
You can't, because she's awesome.
Right.
Yeah, she's such a sweetheart, and she's all about improving people's lives. How can you make fun of that?
I mean, we were able to make fun of ourselves. But I get back to your point. I understand what you're saying. Yeah, it's not. We got to have people like Cameron Reedy and to keep the same flavor of the show.
I guess it's just going to be a week by week basis to see how. We'll just have to go into it thinking, okay, we might tear this person apart. If they end up being like Nisla, then we'll just back off. We won't do it. So.
See, Tuna gets anxiety, even just listening to a show or watching a show where they're making fun of somebody.
I do. It's bad.
She gets anxiety for that person.
Oh, okay.
What were we watching?
So we need to do it more as well.
No. What's that show we were watching? Impractical Jokers. Have you ever watched that?
I have not.
It's this group of 4 friends. They grew up together. They live, and this is what their show is about. They live to just embarrass each other and put the other ones in awkward situations and make them do and say just awful things to strangers. And sometimes it makes me so uncomfortable just to watch
basically
it.
They'll have one go out and he's working the desk at the McDonald's, at the front counter.
Right.
And he has an earpiece in. Well, they have to they order him and tell him what to do. So they'll tell his buddy, say, just stare at him. Don't answer any of his questions. And the goal is they have to do everything that they tell them, or they lose. And then they tally it up. It's pretty much just for fun, but it's hilarious.
Or walk away and come back wearing nothing but your apron.
Right. But sometimes they'll say stuff that's racial or making fun of fat people, like somebody's fat. I feel a little anxiety there too. I don't feel right about it. Somebody who's already insecure about something.
Right. So the anxiety that's created in you it's created in you just when people are made to feel awkward themselves.
Yeah.
Because you're putting yourself in their place.
Exactly. Like so during the show, they tallied it up, and then the end of the show is the loser has to do this big punishment. And what did they do to Sal? I think it was
My life book. He was doing a book reveal.
I was thinking about the one where they were at a baseball game. They sent him out on the field, and they said that he was going to perform this song that he had written. He had no idea what it was or what he was going to do. And there he is in front of this huge baseball stadium of people, like full of people. And he had to stand out there and sing a song that he was just making up on the spot.
Yeah, they'll give him like a book, like here's what you got to read. They'll open it, there's nothing in there. Anyways, what were we talking about?
Anxiety.
We're talking about making fun of guests.
Yes. So, our guest choice, we should probably. Is there not a way to pick genre?
Well,
on that site?
Basically, people contact us and they want to come on the show. I haven't been. Let's put it this way. More than half have not responded back to our limitations. In other words, maybe they can't come on live at Wednesday night. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So only about half of them responded back that our limitations are okay. So I didn't want to. I just wanted to get guests on because, like we were talking about earlier, 2 months ago, you were like, I don't even want to do the show unless you have a guest. You know what I mean? So I was like,
well, it's easier with
right.
Tuna.
That was before she came on board, and this thing with podcastguests.com, you know, I started like 3 months ago. It took that long to come into fruition. So next week we have no guests scheduled.
Good, we can take it off.
The next week after that is Halloween, and we have Cody Wheat. He's a bartender who does a does a podcast where he interviews bartenders. So maybe we can rip him a new ass.
I think that's a fake. That's
name?
not real.
What do you mean?
He's coming on to make fun of us. That's not real.
Yeah.
Well, which is fine.
You know, good luck coming on this show making fun of us.
A little bit of house cleaning, maybe we could do. Would like to communicate this now that we know how to.
Yes.
Can we get this green and this all green back here straightened out?
You know what? Yes. I mean, I would love to work on it with you. I mean, here's the
well,
thing.
Not with me,
Here's
like on your own.
I could. If you let me cut the sheet, I'll have it all done.
Well, you may have to go up to Joe and Fabrics and get some more fabric. They have this exact fabric up there you can buy.
Well, we'll see. I don't have any money.
I mean,
DirecTV.
You have money, goddammit.
Listen to me. I got to tell this story about
My wife
DirecTV.
hasn't worked in 12 years.
That's why I don't have any money.
Well, that doesn't mean you can pawn it off on everybody else. You got to buy some fucking green shit. What now?
You got to buy some green shit. What now?
You said what now? Something about your cousin or something?
DirecTV.
Oh.
Yeah. We talked about DirecTV last week. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was exciting.
So, Monday night. Shut the.
It was so exciting.
So Monday night, I carved out 2 hours of my evening because I knew that's what it would take, and I got on the horn with DirecTV, and it took that long to finally come to the point where I was like, it's going to cost me $170 to be done with it. Okay, so I said, do it. I'm done. I'll pay $170 to be done with this shit. Okay, so I did it. I canceled it Monday, like at 7 o'clock. Now, on my DirecTV, I did not have ESPN, so I could not watch Monday Night Football. And I was pissed, so I thought, yes, I've just canceled DirecTV, start the YouTube TV. So I got to watch the Packers and the 49ers on Monday night. Great game. Saul called it Packers. They won. So one of the best shows that my wife and I love to watch is a show called This Is Us. It's a great show.
I've heard that's a tearjerker.
It is. It will make you bawl like a baby. Don't
No
watch it with
thanks.
anyone you don't want to see you cry. Okay? So, anyway, it's a great episode going to be on last night. So I'm like, yes. Wife and I sit down to watch it. Guess what?
Doesn't work.
From 9:15 to 10:30, all of YouTube had a global. YouTube went down for an hour and 15 minutes last night. And I was like, Of course, at the time, I didn't know it was, I don't know if it was the Xbox or my
Right,
internet or
right,
where
yeah,
it was.
it's
So
half an hour.
my wife ended up watching something else on Hulu, and I found out this morning it was everybody. But, so, yeah, that's the end of my tech story. I'm going to pay $170 next month to be done with DirecTV, ship all that crap
Cool.
back.
Add a few more dollars and buy a green sheet.
And I'm going to buy some green stuff. If it wasn't such a pain in the ass to move all this stuff, I would paint that wall green. If you got green paint.
Man, I just tossed some. Seriously, I just tossed some.
Yeah.
Why would you toss paint?
Because we're getting rid of stuff. I didn't need it.
Yeah, but you can always use paint. Paint is
No,
paint.
we can't. It dries out and goes bad.
Oh, yeah.
It was really cool too because we had it like drying out in the cans outside, and our dog stepped in it, and then walked in the house.
Oh no!
Yeah,
Are you serious?
That was cool. Yeah.
That would work for here, but it's still not gonna. You can't
Well,
paint that.
if we painted the wall, then we'd have all this sheet to.
Oh yeah.
The problem is behind
paint
you. The problem is behind you because if I painted that wall, it only comes out halfway.
Well, what do you mean? What's the other half?
Nothing. There's nothing out there.
Oh, back there.
I mean, the carpet you got's working all right. Look.
You can, right, but all you gotta do is hang a green curtain there.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
So, anyways, so it's just a thought.
Yeah.
It would look cooler. It just looks, Okay. Anyways, that's the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Thank you for being with us tonight in our time of need.
In our time of need.
Next week, since somebody didn't do it this week,
freaking call in.
Yep. Any caller gets, no, not any caller. The first
The
caller.
first caller at 330-479-833 next week
Free
will
projector.
win a free LED projector shipped to you. You don't have to pay shipping.
Or delivered if you're local.
Yeah, if you live around
and
here.
we know
Or you ask to come pick it up.
Right. Oh, boy. All right. So, we calling it?
Called it.
All right.
You're listening to the LeRoy and Earl Show.
There's another one from Massive Wagons. Are we taking next week off then? All right, yeah, we're going to take the week off next week, shift heads. I may do a replay because I find that enjoyable. I may not, so we'll see what happens with the studio. If I have to tear it apart and paint the walls green, I won't do a show. So we'll be back in 2 weeks on Halloween for a special Halloween show with Cody Wheat as a guest. Good luck, Cody.
Hello, this is Eric Cartman. I don't usually listen to podcasts, but when I do, I listen to the LeRoy and Earl Show. I can't do it. I can't. I would never listen to this shit. The adult cartoon of podcasts, my ass.